Good afternoon and welcome to The Dinner Stories. This is the last episode of The Dinner Stories in this series. It's got to be a special dinner, hasn't it? And you know what my favourite meal is that I cook every single week. And of course the clues are there. We've got onion, we've got peppers, red and green. Got some minced meat, fresh mint. I'm going to add some mushrooms this week. I don't always. I've got tomatoes and I've got tinned tomatoes left over. But the key to this, the big clue to this will be the spaghetti. I'm sure you've guessed it. It is spaghetti bolognaise. First job is to chop the peppers, the onions and the mushrooms. This week's dinner story. I met a man on a station platform. Not a brief encounter moment like Celia Johnson and Trevor Howard, but more of a polite hello when two commuters acknowledge each other and fall into conversation, whilst waiting for yet another delayed train. The nameless man was all in black, trousers, coat, shoes and hat. He shifted his weight as you do when you stood too long. But my extremely good peripheral vision picked up on his red socks. Before my brain could compute, out of my mouth came, "Why the red socks?" He moved his tightly wrapped scarf away from his neck, revealing a dog collar. No, not the gothic accessory worn by spiky-haired, tattoo-adoring youths, that's not generalising either, but the black and white type that vicars wear. Oh, I see. Although I didn't really, as it still didn't explain the sock colour. He told me he was off to a quarterly meeting in London for an hour and a half and would be back on the early train by mid-late afternoon. I asked how he knew that. He replied, "I've already planned the agenda. I set it a month ago, and the key is know any other business, as that's the basis for next month's agenda." Wow, that's impressive. I thought, make a note for yourself for any future meetings. We had a lovely chat. The time passed so speedily, and such a delightful gent. Church service would be very entertaining after hearing an analogue about a recent service ending. Ooh, beautifully cooked onions and peppers with the garlic in, with a little tad of chilli. We're just going to tap it in there. Now for you garlicites, you can add as little or as much as you want. The vicar said, "I stood before the congregation and said, I have bad news. I have good news. And I have more bad news." The congregation went quiet. The bad news is the church needs a new roof. The congregation groaned. The good news is we have enough money for the new roof. A sigh of relief was heard rippling through the gathered group. The bad news is the money's still in your pockets. A very good way to get the congregation to gift some money towards said new roof. Back to bolognese. Final few jobs before we let it just cook down on its own. Now you think, hey, you're starting early. Well, it is 7. But I do like to add a glug of red wine to my bolognese, but not before we have the first sip. It's a special weekend. Well, most weekends are special. Every day's special, that's what we should say. But this weekend is even more because it's my birthday tomorrow. And the last thing I add is tomato puree. A good squirt of that. So while that is cooking, I'm off to get changed. Well, good evening, all dressed for dinner. Spaghetti's boiling away, bolognese is simmering beautifully, Parmesan's ready to grate, table set. Looking forward to my spaghetti bolognese. Well, there we go, grated Parmesan, a little twist of black pepper, and bolognese it is. Spaghetti Bolognese Friday. Thank you very much for watching the Dinner Stories.